Hey, everybody. This is episode number 2 of our podcast, The White Print. And just like I promised last week, guess what? We're in a different place, different scenery. This time we are in the laundromat. We're about to have a state of the art laundromat here in West Baltimore, in Baltimore, Maryland. Because I know my
Oh
podcast
wow,
goes all across the world. So
that's
we are
right,
in Baltimore, Maryland. Hey, I got my main man, Mr. Long, with me today. How you doing, Mr. Long?
man. I'm blessed. I'm blessed and thankful to be here on this evening, on tonight, and I'm excited about episode 2 of the White Print. This
Hey,
is a
hey.
very state of the art type of podcast because
Yes,
it's
sir.
not something typical. It's out the box.
Yes,
And
sir.
let me tell you about Coach White. He is giving you very valuable information that most people will not give you. He's been there, done that. He's letting you know about the ins and out of business. Some things that, mistakes that he might have made in business, he's trying to help you to avoid it.
Yes, sir.
But he's doing very well now. He's had runs many successful businesses, and he's giving you, the ins and out of business and what to do and what not to do. And that is very, very valuable. It's invaluable what he
Ye-
does, and I commend you. And
Hey, man. I just
I
want,
bless God for you.
I just want to bless people on business, keeping their faith up,
That's right.
not giving up on their dreams. Because, like I said last week, I had a lot of failed businesses, but look, God has put me in a place where, you know, He's put me on the right track and I owe it all to Him. Bible said there's no respect to person, but I thank God that He chose
That's
me to teach you about business and about life and about different things that I can help you with along the way, even my business journey. So today is so you think you want to open a laundromat.
wow.
And everybody's dream is like, oh, I want to do a laundromat. Oh, I want to do
Right.
this
Hmm.
business. Well, tonight, we're going to dig into it tonight for a few minutes. And I hope this podcast go miles and miles around the world so that people that's inspiring to do something. Look, the task is hard. It ain't nothing easy about starting a laundromat. I mean, but I'm going to give you some things I did. I'm going to give you some do's and don'ts, some stuff I regret. Um, and you're going to learn stuff tonight about business, period. Not just about the laundromat business, but about business, period. So, Mr. Long, give me some questions
We
that for
yeah,
these people.
we gonna jump right into it. I know that the topic of episode 2 is, so you think you want to open a laundromat. Now, with that being the topic, I'm going to ask you the question: what inspired you to want to open a laundromat?
The same thing it got people saying I want to open a laundromat because it's so much passive income. It's
Right.
passive income. The laundromat business is passive income. If you understand what passive income is, you can be a semi absentee or absentee business owner. What that means is semi means you can come twice a week, 3 times a week,
Hmm.
or absentee means I can be in my favorite part of Florida, Tampa, and run my business through my iPad and one attendant. I'm not
Wow.
here. That's absentee. I'm not here. So
That's
the
right.
way the way the laundromat business now is, these machines that you see in the background, they are state of the art machines where I can take my phone or my tablet, I can troubleshoot, I can start and stop the machines. I can be
Hmm.
in Paris, I can be in Africa on a safari. As long as I got Wi-Fi service, I can control these machines. So why did I
Wow.
get into the business? I got into the business because laundromats make money. Plain
That's
and
right.
simple. They make money. And I'm feeling the need. Now, here it is, everybody. You got to be able to feel a need to where you put the laundromat. See, you can't just open a laundromat in Bethesda, Maryland or Potomac,
Hmm.
Maryland, right? different parts of Maryland where you have $1 million houses, they got somebody washing their clothes, right? But in certain areas, you got to know your area, you got to know your audience, you got to know where you putting the laundromat before you even start. You got to do, man, we did so many what they call censuses,
Mm-hmm.
where we said how many people in a 1 mile radius, 2 mile radius, 3 mile radius, how many laundromats in a 1 mile radius, 2 mile radius, 3 mile radius. It's so much work into planning a laundromat. So I went over the top that question. Why did I start? I started because it makes money, and I'm feeling the need for my neighborhood.
Right. That's definitely a great answer. And it's definitely a good place where you put it because it's definitely meeting a need for that community. Because
Yeah,
you have people who may not have a washer and dryer in their house, and you may have seniors who really can't travel too far, who need their stuff washed and need to be able to get to somewhere that's really close.
yeah, and so the thing about it is, you got to understand something. North Avenue was one of the major bus hubs in Baltimore City, right?
Yep.
So we found the major bus hubs, right? And there is not one laundromat that's open on North Avenue, east or west, but Modern Spin, and that's going to be us. Now, they might open, I think they might open one up on Harford Road in the old Walgreens right there, but
Yeah.
they're feeling the need. But that's East Baltimore.
Yep. That's east.
I'm in West Baltimore. So now I can use this service for Coppin students. I can use this service
Yep.
for Micah, Maryland Institute of Art, College of Art.
Yep.
We can do so many different things with this service, the laundry service. So you have to make sure if you start any business, all my people out there, if you start any business, the business has to feel the need of the community before you think for one moment that you're going to be able to say, oh, I'm gonna make millions of dollars. You can't. You got to make sure that
Right.
the business that you're doing is going to fill the need or fill the gap in the community. That's how you make your money. If it doesn't fill the need in the community, you won't, or it doesn't fill the need in the infrastructure, or the economy doesn't fit that business, you won't
Mhm.
make any money. You got to make sure that whatever you're doing in business, whether it's your passion, whether whatever, and you're going to be a brick and mortar. I ain't talking about a stationary business. I'm talking about a
That's
brick
right.
and mortar business where your business is going to be stationary. It has to fill a gap or a need in that community. Period. So so that's something that you got to understand. If it doesn't fill the need in the community and you're a stationary business, you're going to struggle. I mean, now we got the internet,
Right.
and unless you're doing something where you can ship a product or you got a viral product like food or something that they'll travel across town just to get that fish
Right.
sandwich, like at the special fish sandwich at the Wing Wagon. Oh, selfless plug. Sorry about that. But but you understand what I'm saying? But I can't ship anything. I can't ship anything here. This is a stationary business. So it has to fill the need. It's nothing that I can Amazon. It's nothing that I can
Right.
mail. It has to fill the need. It has to fill the void. It has to fill the gap. It has to make sense for the community. Wherever you place a laundromat, it has to make sense.
And this is how I can tell that you really did your homework on, filling the need for the community because there was one laundromat in West Baltimore, I believe on believe that's Linden and it was Linden and North Avenue. It was
Okay.
West, but they're closed.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they closed
Yeah.
down.
It was one on Ruxton. He's about done. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, state of the art machines makes sense. You don't want
Yep,
to put anything old. You don't want to give your community second hand stuff. You want to come out strong in anything you're doing when you're feeling the need for the community.
that's right. And you're moving into the state of the art equipment. Now, I'm used to the old. I remember the old school machines and stuff like that, the ones that used to take your quarters.
Hmm.
So so now that you've already seen the need for the laundromat in the community, you find a prime location. Now we're going to get into how much capital does it cost to start up, and what was your biggest initial cost for the
Well,
laundromat?
well, here it is. So the question is, how much capital does it take to start up, and what's the initial cost? So
Yeah.
my thing is the way the real estate is in Baltimore City. Now you can't see a lot of people still ride down North Avenue and don't see what I see. A lot of people ride down North Avenue and don't see what they're doing underground and above ground on North Avenue,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Coppin just built one building and now they're building three more buildings on their campus. They're not as big as Morgan, but they're building three more buildings
Right.
on their campus as we speak. Today is November 6th, 2025. Because these podcasts going to resonate forever because the
That's
information
right.
is going to be solid forever. So we can play this podcast 10 years from now and the information is still going to be solid, what I'm saying. But understanding the the question is, how much capital does it take to start up? Well, I
Yes.
looked at buying real estate first. And just like I told you last week, I brought the building where the current carryout was. Now, the capital made sense for me to invest in this building more
Right.
so the laundromat because first came the real estate, then came the ideas for the building. You understand what I'm saying? So my
Mm-hmm.
first initial investment was buying the building. My second thought was to how can I make much money as I could from the building. So this building was 2 floors, 3 floors actually. And 20 years ago, the building was two spaces downstairs. It was two addresses, 20,
Mm.
2038 and 2036. Now, when I bought the building was only one address, 2036. I took the building back and made it two addresses and two more floors above. So now I have the capital to build a laundromat because now I have a rental space at 2036, and now I
Mm.
have the laundromat at 2038, and then I have the real estate above, which is 2036, second and third floor, right? So
Right.
now the rent that I make on second and third, and from the event space on 2036, that pays for everything I need to do at the laundromat.
Right.
So my capital, I made sure that I made capital before I invested so much in a laundromat. Because to start a laundromat like this, I don't want to want everybody to think I'm rich or I'm a millionaire or whatever. I am a millionaire. Hey, you got to speak it. The Bible says, speak those
Right.
things.
That's right.
But understanding this, I'm taking the money that I make upstairs, I'm taking the money that I make in the next address, and I'm throwing
Right.
it all on my mortgage and the
Mm-hmm.
laundromat. You understand what I'm saying? So the capital that I invested in the laundromat is from what I invested in building the capital. So I invested making sure I had renters upstairs and making sure I made money next door. So that money is my startup money to build my laundromat. But a laundromat at this capacity, this new, from scratch, $500,000.
Oh wow. 500,000.
I'm telling y'all raw numbers. I
No,
shouldn't
I
even
I
tell.
know
I
that's
shouldn't even be telling these
right.
people these raw numbers like this. But it's a
Right.
$500,000 to build a laundromat at something like this. $500,000. Now, now, mind you, I brought the building for 250,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now, with everything done, the building is worth 1.2 when you're done with the laundromat.
Yeah.
So now I can, and I know I'm cutting the question all up. Now,
Now you
once
good.
you
You good.
once you have equity, now you can refinance the building at a low mortgage, right? Put the money you spent doing everything back in your pocket. And now the laundromat is paying the loan.
Wow.
So now I'm putting
Y'all hearing this?
the laundromat pays everything now. I put my money back in my pocket because now I bought a building for 250,000. I remodeled the whole first floor with 2 addresses. Remodeled the
Uh-huh.
second and third floor. Well, now we have tenants upstairs, right? So now I refinance the building. That pays for the laundromat, pays me back. Now the
Mhm.
laundromat pays for everything. And I put my money back in my pocket. I'm going on to my next project now because now I have a GC here, but I'm here every day. But I have a GC here doing the project. Now I'm looking for the next laundromat because I put my money back in my pocket.
Right.
So now let's do this. You see this laundry? You see this right here? You can hear me. Now
Yeah.
I'm rinsing and repeat. I'm rinsing and repeat. We're in a money
That's
cycle now. We're in a money cycle. So
this
now
good information right here.
Yeah. So now, if you ask me what's my biggest initial cost, is acquiring the building was
Yep.
the biggest cost. See, I'm not renting any buildings. I'm acquiring the buildings, putting the money
Right.
into it, taking the equity out, putting it back in my pocket, doing other stuff with it, and letting the cash cow, which is the laundromat, pay for everything now. I'm going on to the next.
On to the next.
Yeah. So
Wow.
my biggest cost is buying the building, buying the
Building.
real estate, and making sure the real estate has stuff in it to make money. It's a money cycle. It's a money cycle. On one of my other YouTubes, go to my YouTube channel, LC White Investor, everybody. And I'm talking about money cycling. So get into business that's going to recycle money. Like I'm into the party business. I rent chairs, tables, tents, moon bounces. Guess what? That one chair is going to keep on recycling itself. This one wash machine and dryer combo is going to keep on recycling itself
Yeah.
every day. Every day. Long as it's turning, it's recycling the money. Boom, 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 boom. So the question is, the biggest cost was acquiring the building and letting the cycle do what it does.
Now, I know we normally do this at the end, but this information is too good for people not to want to connect with you. If they want you to coach them and show them how to do this, how can they contact you?
Go to my website, lcwhiteinvest.com. lcwhiteinvest.com. Go to my website.
Right there.
Man, I'm putting this website together where you can even buy one of my books, 6 Steps to Entrepreneurship. I mean, we are going to the next level in everything we're doing, and we want
That's
to make
right.
sure that we're not leaving anybody out. You might never want to talk to me, but you can download the books right from my website. You can download the books right from my website. I promise you, the books has some good. It's a workbook, has some good information in it. It's going to bless you. I promise you, it's going to bless you. Like I said, and I want to make this public service announcement. I owe everything to God.
Amen.
That's it.
Amen.
Next question.
Now, when you're opening up a laundromat,
Mhm.
what type of business structure would you use for that, and why?
So I am doing a foreign LLC. So we set up LLCs in Utah and Delaware, different places like that have a different structure where they have to dig down real deep. And then we set up a foreign entity in Maryland. Good
Oh
God
wow,
Almighty. That's a whole
that's so.
man, that's deep right there. But what happens is, remember, here it is. A lot of times, a lot of times we have to cut our liability down because remember, there's a lot of water spots in the laundromat.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you want them to drill down deep, deep, deep to find the owners of your business. Because everybody always say, well, I own this and I own that. I'm only talking on the podcast. But when you see me in public, I don't even, only if it's somebody that I really know or people that I
Hmm.
like or people that I'm teaching, I show them what I do. But regular people that don't know entrepreneurship and don't understand and don't have any skin in the game, because a lot of people that know me, I talk about skin in the game. I don't show people stuff unless they have skin in the game, unless they have something to lose. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if you have a business and you got to understand, people that don't have anything to lose in business, you look like a mark sometimes, right? So they come into
Right.
the laundromat, slip and fall, wasn't even wet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to also understand the liabilities of every business that we get into. Everybody want to cook. Oh, I baked some cookies. Somebody gets sick. The restaurant, you know, is a number that they can call to just direct you to about restaurants for the city. You know what I'm saying? It's a number
Right.
they can call, just direct you about slipping. It's so many. So we have to
Mm.
make sure that we protect ourselves in business. So you said what structure? So that a regular person has to dig down. Now, attorneys are smart. So when you get to this level, you got to have an attorney on retainer, you know,
Right.
because
That's right.
sometimes somebody can dig into a structure because that's what people do. So the thing about it is also is a blessing to have a business, but then at the same time,
That.
it's
Yep.
still some things that you're not there all the time. You might be an absentee owner where, you know, quite frankly, your employees are a risk sometime to you. You know, so the
Hmm.
structure has to be deep, has to be set up in a lot of different ways where you protect your assets and your family. You got to protect
That's
your
right.
assets and your family.
Now, show the people that's watching your washers and dryers, because we're talking. I know you talked about real estate
Okay,
and
so can
all
everybody?
this, all this, all the space in there is real estate. And how important is it to maximize each amount of all the space that you have in there with some sort of equipment?
So I'm glad you said that. So check this out. The way, let me see if I can turn my computer around, my screen around. Hold on one sec. Uh, all right, I'm just gonna do it like this. So, because I'm not savvy as Mr. Long, but you see these machines?
Yes, we can see it.
So the way the machine set up, we did all of them on one row, right? Because we
Hmm.
wanted to maximize the space. So what we did was we did stacks. So we had the bigger dryers and washers down that way when you first walk in. Because when you first walk in, you want to have your money makers. When you first
Right.
walk in, you want to have your money makers all the way to the back. So when they walk in the
That's
door,
right.
you want your money makers first, and you want your smaller machine second. You want to have your cash machine up front where you want everything accessible that's going to make you money up front. Okay.
That's right.
So we have the bigger machines up front, and what we did stack washers and dryers. That way it's easy for us to get more room in here, you know, instead of having dryers on one side of the wall, washers on the other side of the wall. We did it this way so we can consume space and then have more folding tables over here on this side of the room. Um, uh, Tables where you can actually have USB, where you can charge your phones, your
Oh,
laptops, different things like that. So you got to be strategic when you're setting up any business that you're doing. You got to make sure that you take the time and the energy to make sure that it's making you money.
that's right.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of people say my passion is baking cookies. I don't have a passion. My passion is making money. But at the same time, my goal is to bless the community in my money making. You
That's
understand what
right.
I'm saying? So my passion is making money. My passion is being an entrepreneur. My passion is speaking life into people's businesses. You know what I'm saying? Life into their dream. That's my passion, right? But in making money, but at the same time, when you talking about baking cookies is your passion, and you ain't worried about making money, well, you're just doing a hobby.
Right.
There's a hobby. Baking cookies is your hobby. If you ain't making no money off of it, off your passion, it's a hobby. You just love to do it. But when you serious about making money and it's life changing for your family, like if you got a family member or you got family and y'all dreaming about stuff, have meetings, sit down and say, we got to do this. Call me up.
Right.
I'll consult you. Now, everything I'm doing is not free. You know,
Right.
I'm showing you stuff on this podcast so you can get an idea, so you can be ready. So when you call me, hey, I know what I want to do, and we're gonna walk you through it, right? So,
That's right.
so, so, like I said, I want to be able to help people in taking their passions and making them money. You know what I'm saying? Because your passion has to make you money, I believe. But everybody don't have my
I
belief.
agree with
I mean, like I said, I'm just talking straight up, man. I'm talking how I do it. Everybody is different. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, you gotta maximize because life is short. And everybody
That's
is
right.
dreaming about something, but not putting the dream to paper. Like I said last week, not writing a vision, not putting the dream to paper,
Mm-hmm.
not putting your vision to paper and executing.
Mm-hmm.
Execute it. Stop talking about it. Stop talking about your dream. Stop talking about your idea. Oh, and before we go on to the next question, because we run out of time, here it is. A lot of people don't tell me their dream and their vision. All they say, this idea is going to blow your mind. Can I tell you? Can I tell you a secret? With AI, ChatGPT, DeepSeek,
Mm-hmm.
Zilly, I, I, name them all. AI is dreaming for people.
Yep.
AI, somebody already got your idea. I promise you. But guess what? It's still your dream. It's still your idea. Fulfill it. Write it down. Build it. You know how many laundromats it is in Baltimore City? That didn't stop me.
Right.
You know how many chicken establishment there is in Baltimore City? That didn't stop me. You know how many people
That's
rent
right.
chairs in Baltimore City? That didn't stop me. You know how many people buy real estate in Baltimore City? That didn't stop me. You know how many people have corner stores or general stores in Baltimore City? That didn't stop me. You know how many people pastor churches in Baltimore City? That didn't stop me from becoming a pastor. I have a calling on my life. And if I have a calling on my life, God is going to see it through. It's my purpose. He's going to see it through.
That's
No
right.
matter.
Amen.
So stop thinking that your idea is so much a secret that you can't tell nobody. What's happening is you keeping it so much that you ain't telling nobody, and it ain't making you no money, and it ain't gonna happen because you're scared that somebody's gonna take your idea.
Mm.
The great cookie already exists. Snickerdoodle
Yeah.
already there. You know. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Give me one
Wow.
more, man, and we getting out of here, man.
You pretty much almost summed up everything right
Well, I'm
there.
glad I did tonight because, like I said, at the end of the day, man, fulfill your dream. This is not even a dream of mine. This is this is a legacy of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Remember this. It's not a dream. It's for legacy. Again, the Bible says a wise man leaves what? An inheritance.
Heritage.
This is going this is going to my kids and my
Right.
grandkids. You ever see the Rockefellers? They have endowments. They have hedge funds. They have the wealthiest people leave an inheritance for their family. We fighting over. I'm gonna let y'all go on this. People are fighting over a viral fish sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
We are worried about a viral fish sandwich and not worried about leaving a legacy or even building wealth for our generations to come. We're looking at
That's
we
right.
we got to be careful that we are not inside that social media and the internet consumes us so much that we miss what our purpose should be as entrepreneurs and different things like that. AI helps me tremendously. But at the same time, I can't let it consume me that I miss what I need to do. Is a
That's
tool,
right.
is a tool. Remember, the internet AI is a tool so you can get to this point. Because guess what? If the internet goes down today or tomorrow, people still got to wash clothes,
Yep.
right? People still have a need for what I'm developing here. Everything that I'm developing in 2025 and 2026, it has to meet a need in spite of the internet, in spite of
That's right.
recession, in spite of Donald Trump, in spite of Barack
Hmm.
Obama, in spite of George Bush, in spite of who's in the White House, it still has
That's
to meet
right.
a need. Whew, good God Almighty, I ain't want to preach.
So you preaching.
But
Trustees, could y'all bring the
yeah,
offering plate up,
here's the
please?
offer. My cash app. You want my cash app? But you got to feel a need. Business owners, you got to feel a need.
That's right.
If you sell socks, make sure the socks fill a need. It fills a gap in the sock industry,
That's right.
you know?
That's
Or if you're going to
definitely right.
sell socks, sell sweat socks. Who cares? But you still have to have a pitch. You still have to have a website. You still have to have the
Hmm.
marketing strategy. You still have to have all of that. Fill a need. That's my word for today. Fill the need either in your community, in your demographics, in your state, in the world,
That's
on the
right.
line. Feel the need. And I guarantee your business will not fail if you feel a need. That's all I
I'm
have for you tonight.
telling y'all, Coach White dropped so many gems on tonight. I'm telling y'all, if you didn't um get some information tonight, then you must probably wasn't paying attention.
I
There
tried,
was
man.
so many gems, so much information. If you need to watch it again, watch it several times. Make sure that you share it with all your family and all your friends. Make sure
Yes.
that you um, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you like the video, watch the video, and share the video. And also, Coach White, for those who want to connect with you, besides your website, how else can they get in contact with you?
Well, they can contact me by lcwhiteinvest@gmail.com. Or once again, all of my information, you can fill out the contact form. If you want me to speak, I'm available for speaking engagement. I can speak to kids, college students about business, economics, um, entrepreneur, real estate agents, whoever you need me to speak to, I'm your guy. Um, I am now taking engagement, booking engagements. You can book me for speaking engagements about any topic about business. Um, and I will definitely come and excite you and get you motivated when you leave one of my speaking engagements or one of my workshops. I promise you, you will be energized to be ready to open your business.
And churches, book them as well. You know
Well,
that
churches,
we
I've actually opened locations where pastors can rent space for churches,
right.
different things like that. I can show you how to acquire real estate for your church or your business. So just let me know. All my information is on my website, who we are. Um, and I'm excited. I'm excited to do what I do. And I'll see you at my next workshop, or I'll see you at your next seminar, or whatever you need me to be. All right. Go out, Mr. G Long.
You already know how we end it. Who needs the blueprint when you got the what?
Who needs the blueprint
There we
when you
go.
have the white print? LC White signing out. Coach White signing out. Whoever I am to you, I'm signing out. But you don't need the blueprint when you have the white print. Talk to you soon.
We'll see y'all at episode 3 next week. Holla at your boys. We out.